Favorite part of the brain is the hippocampus. First off, we have the overview of the hippocampus. It is located on the underside of each temporal lobe and is seahorse-shaped. The hippocampus receives information from the cerebral cortex, and it is responsible for long-term and declarative information. The hippocampus is part of the limbic system, which means the border. It is part of the hippocampal formation, which means its formation has a lot of limbs. The hippocampus is the posterior part of the limbic lobe. It is said to be, in quotation, the moral brain. It has two parts in simple term, one being the hippocampus proper, and two being the dendrite gyrus. They both curve into one another. The hippocampus receives input from the olfactory bulb. The hippocampus is one of the most studied parts of the brain today. Next we have, what are the hippocampus's roles? The hippocampus is responsible for memory, learning, navigation, and perception. A deeper dive into the hippocampus's roles. The hippocampus stores long-term memories. These events are usually specific and important in our lives. Spatial processing and navigation are the ability to tell where we are and where things are. The hippocampus works in hand with the amygdala to determine outcomes for episodic memory using emotional behavior. One of the reasons why I chose the hippocampus is because I am very interested in how Alzheimer's affects the brain. Alzheimer's is a type of dementia that affects learning. Imagine you had a great story to tell or wanted to tell somebody about your day but could not remember it. That is not even scratching the surface on this disease. Early stage Alzheimer's symptoms include trouble thinking, misplacing an item, and forgetfulness. After the early stage of Alzheimer's, mid-stage Alzheimer's begins. This includes forgetting personal events, which include past or present, daily confusion, having trouble controlling basic body functions, getting lost or wandering off, and personality changes. Next, we have a picture of an Alzheimer's brain compared to a healthy brain side by side. This shows how degenerative this disease really can be. After mid-stage Alzheimer's, late-stage Alzheimer's begins. At this stage of Alzheimer's, a patient will need around-the-clock care as they will lose awareness. There is a deterioration of physical abilities such as using the bathroom, taking a shower, etc. There is also an increased risk for infections, and they will have difficulty communicating. The life expectancy of Alzheimer's is said to be around 4 to 8 years after diagnosis, but one can live longer than the estimated time span. Lastly, why I chose the hippocampus as my favorite part of the brain. I chose this part of the brain because it essentially makes us who we are, and without it, we cannot retain or learn new information. Another reason why I chose the hippocampus is because Alzheimer's has affected my family personally. I have had a family member who had suffered with this degenerative disease and sadly lost their battle. Hopefully, my interest in this part of the brain can be useful for finding ways to combat this disease in the future.